Let us speak about the warrant of arrest for General Fani Masemola. Today, the 24th of July 2025, CIC for the EFF, Julius Sello Malema, confirms that, yeah, guys, there is a warrant of arrest. I don't know why he has not yet been arrested. Those are his words. We'll interrogate that in a few minutes from now. I want to insert a video that explains why why General Fani Masemola has not yet been arrested. There is another point that Julius Malema brings to the table, and that is there is a power struggle in the South African Police Service, and I am going to bring a video from General Mkhwanazi that proves the power struggle in the South African Police Service. Thirdly, let's talk about the contract Mkhwanazi. He brings the issue of Mkhwanazi, and he says that the contract of Mkhwanazi is running out in December, and he brings a very important point about the contract that at first I did not understand that, but as Julius Malema speaks about it, it makes perfect sense, and I'm going to tell you why they will hope that Mkhwanazi's contract does not get renewed. I'm going to tell you that. Lastly, he brings a very important point about the head of Hawks. We spoke about him and his linkage to this man, Katiso. The fact that the man protected Katiso. We spoke about it. So I will do this for you. We've got 3 videos from Mkhwanazi and 3 videos from Julius Malema. Let's weigh that. There is another interesting thing that I want us to talk about. The survey that was done to look at the level of trust that people still have on the institution called South African Police Service. It turns out that people, they don't trust the South African Police Service. In fact, the South African Police Service is currently getting 22%. Did you hear that? 22%. When people were asked, how much do you trust the South African Police Service? 22%. That's a serious thing. Now, we'll speak more about all of those things. Let's kickstart this video by addressing the following. A plot to arrest Mkhwanazi. This then makes sense on the later stage, because Malema will speak about the plot to arrest this man, General Fani Masemola. But let's start from Mkhwanazi. Mkhwanazi had addressed the issue of the fact that there's a plot to arrest him here.
Mr. Brown Mkhwanazi sends a WhatsApp message to myself, Lieutenant General Mkhwanazi, regarding the allegation on the defeating the ends of justice matters which were widely publicized, which involves an incident that happened at the Correctional Service at Mpangeni in KwaZulu-Natal. Mr. Brown sends this message in September last year, long before the news came out in public about the incident that happened at Mpangeni. He sends this message. In this message that he sends to the Provincial Commissioner, he attaches a police letter, and he attaches a copy of the occurrence book, a register that is used at the police station that's supposed to only be accessed by police officers. But Mr. Brown, who's not a police officer, attaches those in his message, and he sends it to the Provincial Commission. His word says there is a plot to charge you. Mr. Brown Mkhwanazi also sends a screenshot of a presentation that was made on the 30th of September 2024, a presentation that was titled 2024-2025 Division Crime Intelligence Policies. He sends this to myself, Lieutenant General Mkhwanazi, as a Provincial Commissioner in KwaZulu-Natal. Surely this must have been a classified information where crime intelligence are presenting their policies. But this man has access to that, and he's not a policeman. When asked to share the copy of this presentation through that WhatsApp communication, he responded by saying, General Khan will brief you next week. There's only one General Khan in the South African Police Service, so is one Lieutenant General Sibiya in the South African Police Service.
So, the reason I had to give you this video, the importance of it, it gives you the perspective, right? Because now I'm going to bring the one where Julius Malema speaks about the plot to arrest now who? Masemola. So now, you know that on a specific video that I did, the group is as follows. General Shadrack Spear, Minister Mkhunu, and Khan, who is a member of, who is the head of counterintelligence. They are on the same group. On the other group, you have General Masemola, you have Lieutenant Mkhwanazi, and then you have Pegitail, I forgot that fourth one. Oh, Khumalo. So, according to this, or the information that we have, the fight is between these two groups. Hence, there is an arrest. The other group strike first by arresting Khumalo and his crew. According to Julius Malema, the move of doing the press conference was a preemptive move, okay, by General Mkhwanazi. Let's allow Malema now to explain the issue of warrant of arrest for, please remember this, for Mr. Masemola. He spoke about that warrant of arrest here.
There is a warrant of arrest against Masemola. It's out. I don't know why it's not being picked up. It means someone somewhere is playing politics, and someone they want to undermine once more the independence of our justice system. Masemola is being arrested for what he did with Khumalo in the crime intelligence. Masemola was supposed to be arrested that week when Mkhwanazi had a press conference. So I thought Mkhwanazi's press conference was a preemptive strategy. And perhaps the arrest for Masemola is delayed by that or will be seen as if we are fighting back or anything of that sort. So it's a matter we're paying a very close attention to, because we cannot allow any more people to abuse their positions. Once a warrant of arrest is issued.
Now, park this. Now that you know, I did a video and I told you, and it was coming from City Press. I told you that there was a warrant of arrest. By now, General Masemola should have been arrested, would have appeared before court, would have been out on bail by now. Why that hasn't happened, I can tell you now. They that are behind this, they knew what was coming for them. They knew that a move, there's a saying in, when you play, what is this thing, Mlabalaba. There's a saying that says a move, a touch is a move. Once you touch this, you must move. In this case, a touch is a bullet, or a touch is an attack. The other group knows that. They first attacked this group, so they know that anything that they do now, seeing what Mkhwanazi has done, they know what is coming for them. They know what is coming for them. And they have seen that when this group, Mkhwanazi, strike, they strike for real. They can see that these people have prepared themselves for a very long time. For the fact that the evidence came out the way it was, like the way they've been tracing the evidence, and when you listen to how Mkhwanazi addresses things, you get a sense that they've been in this war on boardroom and all the stuff for a very long time, and it has prepared, or they have prepared for any eventuality, and they knew it was coming, such as the arrest of Khumalo. Listen to Mkhwanazi addressing that here.
On the 31st of December, we have seen Mr. Brown Mkhwanazi sending the following message to the Minister of Police, which reads, "Minister, I'm going to get the case number and the judgment for you. Now we got something proven by the court. This is a matter now which either Sibia or the minister can charge Khumalo and apply Rule 9 of the disciplinary regulations of the South African Police Service. It took the Constitutional Court to release a man who was sentenced to life imprisonment through a forced Section 204 confession. Imagine, Comrade Senzo, after 30 years of democracy, having this kind of policing. The good thing now is that these are not allegations, but a court judgment." This is extracted from a conversation that Mr. Brown Mkhwanazi is sending to the Minister of Police.
So you have Mkhwanazi telling the minister how he must arrest Khumalo, right? Giving this thing. So they knew it was coming, right? That's the point that I wanted to demonstrate to you. They knew it was coming. So now, what do you do if you know that sooner or later they will strike against you? What do you know? What do? You do one thing, you prepare to strike against your enemy, right? I want to take you back to Julius Malema. He speaks about this. Now, I want to take you to the video of Julius Malema where he speaks about the power struggle that is happening within the South African Police Service. And he brings a very important point. He says the power struggle has been there for a very long time. But the mistake that the minister did was to take a side. He found a group and then he wanted to fit in one of the group. You know, Julius Malema is speaking something very important there, that the minister chose a side. And it is this very same mistake that the incoming acting minister, or the one that they Mr. Bin, it seems to be making a mistake. Now you get a sense that he's on the attack mood against Mkhwanazi, and which is a big mistake. Nevertheless, let's proceed. Now let me take you to the attack, how it then arrested, how attack arrest Khumalo. Then I will bring the Julius Malema video. Let's listen to this video here.
On the 13th of May this year, the contract of Vusumuzi Ket Matlala was cancelled by the National Commissioner of the South African Police Service. On the 14th of May this year, Vusumuzi Ket Matlala sent a message to Brown Mkhwanazi, which reads, I quote, "Morning. Just to let you know that my contract was cancelled yesterday. And I see you've been ignoring me and promising me things that never happened. Luckily, took screenshots of every conversation just in case something like this might happen. I'm taking all this to media and some to court on Friday when I do the interdict." Close quote. On the 30th of May 2025, the Investigative Directorate Against Corruption, which is referred to as IDEC, requests the exhibits from the cell phone of Vusumuzi Ket Matlala from the Political Killings Task Team, and they download the content of the cell phone. IDEC is a unit that was established to deal with corruptions in the country. We don't know what is it that we're investigating for them to come and ask for these cell phone downloads. On the 25th of May, on the 30th of May, I beg your pardon. On the 25th of June this year, the project coordinator of the Political Killings Task Team is arrested by IDEC. A dramatic arrest. A dramatic arrest. On the 26th of June 2025, the accused, Katiso Bribed, who was arrested by the very same task team, was granted bail. Guess that one went under the radar.
You see, when this other group strike and, a shot is fired, these ones, they can see that, okay, we are all going to fall. Consider the fact that they have already found evidence to prove that they are going to fall. And you can get, or when you read the messages, you get a sense that somehow they did not want to strike Mkhwanazi. But what they wanted to do was to scare him into submission. They wanted to push him to submit to them so they can use him, so they can have full control against, so that they can have full control from Mkhwanazi, right? If they can control him, then he does their will. Because they wouldn't have said, Mkhwanazi wouldn't have said, be careful, there's a plot to arrest you. They wouldn't have done that if really they didn't want, or they didn't want to use him for their own advantage. They wouldn't have done that. They would have just struck. But for the fact that they won him, it proves the point that they wanted him on their side. Right. Now let's move to Julius Malema. Now he speaks about the fact that there has been a power struggle in the South African Police Service for a very long time. The mistake of the minister was to take side on a power struggle that is already, or that has been in existence for a very long time. Okay? Now, allow me to bring this video before I bring the one of Mkhwanazi. Listen to this video here.
There are factions in the police. You've got minister working with Khumalo and Masemola. No. Not Masemola, the other one who got Sevilla. No, it's Minister Sevilla. Then you've got a National Commissioner working with Khumalo. So there is a power struggle there. Now, we are not interested in those things. We are interested in the truth. As to who belongs to what and what, we don't care. We want the truth to come out. What Mkhwanazi said must be repeated, backed by evidence in the ad hoc committee and in the commission of inquiry. It is now no longer an issue of just talking. Let everyone who has got an issue bring that matter before the committee, and I'm going to sit in that committee of ad hoc committee to investigate these allegations. And if I'm there will not be manga business, because I'm not scared of police or soldiers or anyone, including drug cartels or criminals. I'm not in the pocket of any thug in South Africa. That's why I live a free life. And if I'm lucky, maybe they will elect me the chairperson of that committee so that I can sort out this issue once and for all.
Now, please tell me something. Do you see what Julius Malema is trying to say? Do you understand what Julius Malema is trying to say? Do you comprehend what Julius Malema is saying? I agree with him 110%, and I'm going to tell you why I agree with him. Guys, it is clear here. There are there's so much evidence to prove the assertion that this is power struggle at its best. You don't need any scientific evidence more than the evidence that we have. And I can tell you now, if the incoming minister chooses a side, I hope it doesn't have scandals. Because the South African Police Service is considered the most powerful and deadly institution. That is why some prosecutors and others, once they go toe-to-toe with the South African Police Service, they quickly back down. Why? Because they know, if you know that you've got some scandal, you better not fight with these guys. I hope the new minister, he does not have scandals. Because this institution that is going to be a leader of the called the South African Police Service, remember those guys have got access of information that you don't have. They access information at the highest level. Now let's speak about one person who used to lead one of the most powerful institutions called Hawks. Mr. General Libya, who is now retired in the position. Julius Malema brings or makes a very important point about him in proving that he knew Katiso. Maybe it was in his pocket. I'm not sure. But listen to this. He says that Julius Malema makes this very important point. He says, it's surprising that this former head of Hawks, General Libby, he does not tell us the name of the person. Information it's kind of like they're not giving us information. He says, no, I will speak on that day. Why wouldn't he say, I was called by so and so about this? Number two, the point that Julius Malema is making is that, wait, why didn't you report this matter to the nearest police station so there's a docket open if there were people impersonating Hawks? Because such must be handled by the SAPS near the police station where it occurred. Why didn't you report that in the police station? Yeah, those questions left me thinking. I'm like, yeah, man. General Libya, no. General Libya has got some explanation to do because now I'm not buying the story. No. I'm not buying the story. Why did you not report this to the nearest police station so there be a docket and there be an investigation to say there were people who impersonated the Hawks? Why? Listen to Malema here.
So we should not even try to politicize CDA criminality. It's not political. What's happening in the police is pure criminality. Pure criminality. And we have to deal with that. I mean, DJ Sambodi was killed in a very brutal manner. And knowing police, there's no way they would have taken this much to arrest a person who killed DJ Sambodi. There's that guy who was killed now 2 weeks ago at Ikuruleni. The person is already arrested. So it tells you the people who killed DJ Sambodi are highly connected. Why would the head of the Hawks confirm that he was called, that there are people who are pretending to be the Hawks at a particular venue, and then he unleashes the Hawks to go there? It's not true. Once they are saying there are people who are pretending to be police and they are not, and that information comes to his attention, he must refer it to the police station next to where those thugs are taking chances. For him to start even getting involved, he even knows the address, yet he doesn't have a docket. He has no right to open any docket. And then he says he was not called by Molefe, he was called by a friend of Molefe, and the friend of Molefe does not have a name. He's playing games. If he doesn't give us the name of who called him, he was called by Molefe. Until he give us a name, he was called by Molefe. It's like Kenny Gunayan saying he was taking a journalist there. To take a journalist is not a secret operation. Who is that journalist? Who's that journalist? Why would you take a journalist to someone who just came out of prison, who's on bail as an MMC? Now I'm very happy. I dance even at night. Oh, things are looking good, chef. We told you these things are criminals. They are nothing else but mapantiti. He says he doesn't know that guy. He knows that guy. I know that guy. Not from a personal point of view. He's a well-known businessman. Until now, we knew him as a businessman. So, but I don't have a relationship with him like that, where I can call Patrice Motsepe or go to Patrice Motsepe's house or have tea at Patrice Motsepe's house, take my wife to Patrice Motsepe's house. Patrice Motsepe's wife knows my wife. I don't know the guy like that. But for Kenny to behave like that in public office and say he doesn't know that guy, that's a lie. It's a pure lie. And that's how thugs, 26, 28 gangs succeed. They lie. They think they can outsmart everyone. So, and Mashaya, they don't care whether you are convinced or not. They tell their story. It's done. But Kenny's story is not coming together. The head of Hawks, Libya's story is not coming together. That he was not called by Molefe, he was called by a friend. So you can hear this story. An honest man would have said, I was called by Godrich, who said, there are people who pretend to be police at Marshall's house. And that's how I landed there. Because now, once these things are out, you must know, that guy is not a whistleblower. He put you in trouble. Why not saying it? What is the difference between telling us that the name of a person who called you now with telling us that name in the commission of inquiry? What difference does it make? Why do you leave as a trusted senior policeman? Why do you leave the nation hanging? So we need to get to the bottom of this. Because once we get the name of who called the head of Hawks, then we're going to know, oh, this one is linked to this one. Because we need to get this network properly and dismantle it. And we can't dismantle it if police in the process are playing a dishonest role.
Now, let's talk about the issue of Mkhwanazi, how he addresses Mkhwanazi. Let's speak about two things that I will highlight. I would like us to highlight. Number one, he says Mkhwanazi is a hero. He's our hero. Two, he says the contract must be renewed when it expires December. And then here's the point. He says because if Mkhwanazi is out of the institution, it's gonna be easier for others to maneuver in his absentia. So we need him because if he's inside the institution, that is going to help in dealing with every matter that is at hand and the commission of inquiry. So the call to have his contract renewed is not only made, or was not only made by Premier of KZN Utamintuli, but also now you hear Julius Malema says we need this contract to be renewed. I think a lot of political parties except the ANC will agree that the contract of this man must be renewed. Malema said it here.
Mkhwanazi is a hero. For a man to go outside the established protocols to do what he did was to put his body on the line. That's what a man does. Whether you agree with him or not, it doesn't matter. But he played a very, very important role in exposing the rot, and it is our turn now, as a country, not as politicians, to deal with this matter. The country must pay a closer attention. One, that Mkhwanazi doesn't get victimized. Mkhwanazi's contract is coming to an end in December. If anything, they must advertise that post now. And then he must reapply and get reappointed again so that he can finish this tax. Thugs, I don't mean those criminals. I mean these ones we sit with here in parliament. Our problem starts here. Yeah. Mkhwanazi must arrest from here. But if we allow this thing to go and Mkhwanazi's contract is finished, they're not going to appoint him. Because they all say Mkhwanazi, Mkhwanazi, praise him, Mkhwanazi, Mkhwanazi. At the corners, they don't like the man. Or you, this one is going to lock us up, all of us here.
Now, the interesting part about what I'm about to read for you is this one. The fact that a survey is conducted and it was found that people do not trust the South African Police Service. It's a worrisome. Listen to the following, released by Sunday World. Who's the article? Who's the journalist is Utshwarelo. Utshwarelo. They are saying HSRC calls for agent action as public trust in cops plunges to record low. Public confidence in the South African Police Service SAPS has plummeted to its lowest in the history, according to the latest Human Science Research Council survey. The findings are based on 21 of the South African Attitude Survey, which indicate that only 22% of citizens trusted the police in 2022, with barely an improvement observed in 2023, 2024, 2025. So, the point is, there is a deterioration in how people are perceiving the South African Police Service, especially when you look at the fact that crime is on the rise. So the level of trust is on the decline side. Then you ask yourself a question. It cannot be that people do not trust the police, but there's also a rise of crime. What will happen? People will take matters into their own hands. That is what we are left with. Now, I want to leave it here with the hope that we shall engage. But I'll ask you a few questions. Let me distract you with a lot of right questions. Number one, please tell me this. What do you make about the fact that there is a power struggle that is happening in the South African Police Service? Two, the warrant of arrest for Masemola. Do you think that would be a wise decision? Consider the fact that for me, where I'm standing, it looks like a touch is a bullet. You attack, we don't just attack, but we bah, bah, bah. Three, what do you make about Mkhwanazi's contract situation that is coming to an end? Remember that the point raised by Malema is that if his contract is not renewed, it might have impact on the Commission of Inquiry. It might have negative impact on the Commission of Inquiry. Therefore, it is necessary to have his contract renewed. What do you make of that statement? I will be listening, paying close attention in the comment section below. I therefore request that we continue to engage down in the comment section below with the hope that I will see you on the next episode. But until that next episode, I also urge you to take care.